me just see here. Oh, stop recording. Pause.
And
Okay.
you are recording double box.
That is correct. And you're going to take yourself out right now. I am recording. I see recording, and then you can pop yourself out.
And I popped myself out. Do you see me still?
I do.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, look at that.
I actually hid myself.
You did. Let me see if I have the ability to hide you. Chat, pin video. No, I don't want to do that. First time with Zoom? Yeah, you know.
So Doug, how about we do this?
Yep.
Why don't you record the full and I will record the double box? Switch.
Okay.
Because I can record the double box fine with the two of you without me.
Okay.
So just make sure that you see me full on your screen right now.
I don't.
Can you see me now?
Hang on. Yeah, but I've got, Jesus criminy. I've got Jen up full. So I'm going to unpin her. All right, now I see you full. Jen, say something real quick.
For 32 years, we've had the Children's Cancer
There we
Fund.
go. Okay. All right. That's what we need. All right. We are recording. Recording. All right. So let's just dive in. Let's dive in with the first and obvious question, which goes to every nonprofit on this planet right now. What has the pandemic done to you guys? What are the challenges, I guess, that ended up right at your feet?
We face huge challenges at Children's Cancer Fund. Doug, as you know, we've hosted the 32nd annual, sorry, it's not the annual, we've had it for 32 years.
Yeah, do it again. So talk to me about the challenges from day one of the pandemic till now.
Well, Doug, you know very well, we host the Children's Cancer Fund Gala every year. It was supposed to be the 32nd annual, and we had to cancel that gala because of COVID. It simply wasn't safe to bring our patients, our volunteers, and our community partners together. And that is our signature fundraiser. We were anticipating to raise $1.5 million for services at Children's Health, including research, cutting edge research, and child life services.
I think one of the biggest things is we've all been caught up in COVID, but cancer doesn't stop. Children's cancer doesn't stop. The need for treatment, the need for advocacy, the need for testing, the need for therapies, it doesn't end.
You're absolutely right. There are countless kids in hospital beds right now fighting for their lives, and we cannot forget about them. And what is so hard on them right now is that they can't see friends. They're limited to one visitor, and some of those playrooms are closed. So the impact that this has on patients who are fighting cancer is really long-term. We're talking an emotional toll that will last a long time.
Right. And those, I think, who are in the fight or touched by the fight understand the ongoing need, and they're there. But for those who maybe have the ability, but don't necessarily have a stake in the fight right now, why take a few minutes and a few dollars out of your very own pocket to fund an advocacy group like the Children's Cancer Fund? What are you going to do for kids who have cancer that people may not know about yet?
We need the support of the community now more than ever. Without our signature event, we don't have those funds coming in. So those dollars that you're talking about that may come in increments of $25, $50, those are instrumental in us being able to stock craft carts to entertain kids and for cancer research to continue, because that's one thing that has never stopped. We want to find a cure for kids' cancer. So for the more people that can contribute and give to this cause, we can keep moving forward on our mission.
And talk to me about the fact that here we are in 2020 and cancer still happens to be the #1 killer of children.
It's tragic, and it shouldn't be that way. And that's why we're here. This organization was established in 1982 by a group of parents whose kids were in the hospital. And their sole mission was to say, kids shouldn't battle this terrible disease. It's not right. No kid should have to lay in that hospital bed and go through the treatments that they have terrible side effects and symptoms of. So it's just really a hard thing to comprehend during this time when everyone's so worried about COVID. It's so many people have lost sight of the little kids that are still lying in hospital beds fighting for their lives. And so we're here to say, please join us in our mission, join us in our fight to find a cure for kids' cancer. And in the meantime, we're supporting those kids with social services through the Child Life Department and craft activities.
You know, in my office, I keep this key ring that was given to me a few years ago of a lot of my little heroes like Hamilton and Adelaide, pardon the pictures here, Max from Dallas. And, you know, I'm reminded when I look at these photos of the strength of the kids, but at the same time, the resilience of organizations like yours that stand behind them, even in this, the craziest of years where, you know, for some, cancer is so far in the background right now, except for those who are in the fight.
Absolutely. And some of those kids that you're talking about that are on your keychain, I too have a list of kids who I think of when I go to bed at night. And I know that those kids didn't get a chance to walk the runway. Each year we highlight these kids. We give them an opportunity to celebrate the journey that they've gone on. And it's an evening that really they get a chance to just escape the reality of cancer. And they walk with Roger Staubach, Troy Aikman, Tony Romo, Dirk Nowitzki. Those guys turn over their star power to shine a light on these kids. And they didn't get that this year. And Doug, that is really, really crushing, not only for us here at Children's Cancer Fund, but for all those families who were so excited to be a part of our gala. And so we're going to continue to do everything we can to love on these families and serve them in a way that let they know that we love them and that we are here for them and we're not forgetting them.
Tell us a little bit, Jen, about how the money gets sprinkled around here in North Texas. Well, my local community, where does the money go?
The dollars stay right here in North Texas. So we have a very strong partnership with Children's Health and UT Southwestern. And so when we bring in those dollars, our board votes on a series of cancer research projects. That's cutting edge. That is the head of pediatric oncology coming to us and saying, this is where we think the dollars are needed most. So our board votes for cancer research, and then we also fund the Child Life Department. And that's that social compassionate care that we were talking about.
Right. What's the best way for somebody to give right now?
We would love financial donations. We would love for someone to give a generous gift that would allow us to continue forward with our mission. All of our volunteer services have been put on hold. We do have some at home and we have some virtual volunteer opportunities that you can check out on our website. But right now, the critical need is to continue to invest in cancer research and child life.
Right. Any numbers that you can share, Jen, in terms of amount of kids that get diagnosed on a daily basis here, and maybe narrowing down to North Texas? And if you don't have that answer, that's fine too, but I'm curious if you do. Like, you know, every month or every year, X amount of kids here in North Texas are diagnosed. Do you know that?
Yeah, I think we're looking at about 300 new cases. And so when we look from a children's cancer perspective, we look at how many of those kids can we really pour into? How many of those kids can we touch? How many of those kids can we impact? Because from the moment they're diagnosed, that is a terrifying moment. When you hear the word cancer and they use your child's name,
Yeah.
it's a shivering moment. And so if we can fill into them, educate them, bring them knowledge, because knowledge is power. Once you understand what leukemia is and what it's doing to your child's body, what the medicine is and how it's going to help fight the cancer, that gives parents a little bit more confidence to say, okay, this is going to be all right. We know that our child's going to be okay. And how to help the child, that's instrumental. And that's where Child Life comes in, because these Child Life specialists are trained specifically on how to educate a child in their terms. They use a teddy bear to say, okay, this is what a port is. The port's going to go in your chest. And they show them on a teddy bear. So that way the child can feel more comfortable about each procedure as they go along the way. And so from diagnosis to treatment to remission, we want to be there to serve these kids during really the hardest times of their lives.
Yeah. I've said it from the beginning in my involvement with kids and cancer, and that is information is power, and power gives moms and dads the ability to make at least informed decisions in a moment of chaos in so many lives, right?
You're absolutely right. And you've seen it. I mean, you've been to our events. You know what it's like to visit with these families. They are the most resilient families you'll ever meet. They have such faith and a joy about them because they know that they have to grasp onto all the good. They have to keep a smile on their face. And 9 times out of 10, when I tell parents, you're one of the strongest parents I've ever met, they turn to their kid and they say, no, she's the strongest one you'll ever meet.
Yeah. Well
Yeah.
said. Well said. Anything I didn't ask that you want to share that we didn't cover?
We're just grateful to CBS 11 and everyone throughout the community for coming together. We know times are tough. We know that it's hard to give in this type of climate, but we're here to share that it's more important than ever to give. And that amount can be any amount. It just matters that we pull together, we come together, and we help kids who are fighting cancer.
Awesome. Jennifer Arthur, thank you.
Deb Dunbar, you're
Thank you.
welcome.
Look at that. Aparna, look at my awesomely solid internet connection that held up the whole time.
The entire time. Not one
You
bit.
did.
That's too funny. Okay, let me pause. Let me stop the recording. Jen, don't go anywhere. Just
Okay.
to make sure. All right, so I'm going to